Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are The Big Show, and our guest for today is, of course, the award-winning psychologist from the therapy room, Dr. Geraldine Tan. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Jerry.
We would much prefer her being in the studio, but then she's over there.
Always. Always,
What do
Dr.
you mean
Jerry.
always?
No, we always want you here.
Okay.
We always want you here.
Sometimes I've been coming in the last couple of times.
True,
so wonder
true.
you're not sick of me.
No, never.
We love you in the flesh.
I know.
Okay, Dr. Jerry, school refusal is today's topic of the
Yes.
day. And does that mean
Yes.
not wanting to go to school at all?
Yeah, so not wanting to go to school, but it's very interesting. So the topic came about because I had teachers asking me, parents asking me, please do this topic. So I thought it was very interesting. Maybe it's because it is school holiday is just over, so maybe they're struggling a little bit, adjusting to get back to school. Yeah, but it is not a clinical diagnosis. So I need to put it out there. School refusal is not a clinical diagnosis. You can't say my child has school refusal or
I'm suffering from school refusal. I can't go anywhere.
But it's a mental wellness. No, what do you? I don't even know the term anymore. I mean, what? Everyone
No, it's
hides
not-
behind this whole mental
Card, yeah.
Yeah, what mental
No,
wellness?
it's also-
No, but mental illness card.
Mental well-being card.
Oh,
they
my
they always
God.
pull out the mental well-being card. They're
Oh,
like, no,
my
I
God.
can't go to school because,
No.
I think it's the biggest BS ever. It's just giving kids and people
Excuses.
Excuses, yeah.
So what are the excuses being given by the children?
Okay, it's not excuses, so that's
Oh.
why we need to talk about it, because school refusal is actually different. Although it's called school refusal, I think years down the road we're going to change the name, but it's different from truancy. So a lot of people think that is truancy, or there's that defiance, delinquent activity, but it is not. It is school refusal, and that's why we're talking about it. And it does impact academic, their academics as well as their social relationship, which they actually don't want to have it impact, right? So, it can be caused by clinical conditions. Later on, we can talk about it, but it is not a clinical issue.
Right. It becomes clinical when, I remember when I was in secondary school, I think I was in Sec 3 or Sec 4 or whatever, at that age, you get acne and stuff like that. And I remember, having some acne on my forehead, and I had one on my nose or something, and I felt extremely ugly. I did not want to go out at all, and that included school for
Yes.
a month until
Yes.
everything cleared up.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, is this normal? Where you suddenly feel ashamed to go out there and show your face.
Yeah.
Because usually, I feel sexy.
Of course,
and
you need
handsome.
it's self-confidence, right?
Yeah, but that really put me in a foul mood,
So this is what you're talking about, Dr. Jerry. Not just excuses like I wake up one day and I don't feel like going to school. You're talking about deep-rooted reasons as to why you wouldn't want to face the world almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the fact that Glenn actually brought that up, because it's one of the areas of or causes of school refusal. Because especially for the teens, right? They are going through that whole developmental stage where they are very image conscious. So acne is one. Sometimes they have body odor, or they are emotionally a little bit more volatile. Yeah. So eczema. So
Okay,
the
wait.
hormones wreak havoc.
Jerry, let's go on The Big Show TV and talk about that. And you can follow us on The Big Show TV, okay? It's going to get very interesting. Zara Larson is next. Pretty Ugly on Kiss 92.
Have you ever seen a pretty girl get up?
Sorry to cut you off like that, my dear. But
No
I've been shown
worries.
the red card 10 times.
So you're talking about things like acne,
eczema. Eczema is a
eczema.
big cause of them, feeling a little bit embarrassed, even uncomfortable. So you have many of the teens who have flare-ups during that period of time because of their hormonal issues, right? So they go through their hormonal changes in their body because of the development.
What about
Yeah.
girls on periods then? Same thing,
They
right?
I don't think it's so much of a refusal as opposed to they really feel uncomfortable.
No,
and
because they
can't
break out
do-
as well.
Oh,
You know what
so
I mean?
I was
Girls
wondering.
break out.
Nice.
No, hormonal.
true.
Girls
Yeah,
break
because
out
I was
as well.
thinking
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can't see what I mean. There's pads and tampons
no, you're
and
bloated. Your
Yes,
skin breaks
yes,
okay.
out.
So once again, the
yes.
skin.
Your hormones, you start. You
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
sweat more for different girls. You're just
that
not at
is
your
true.
best looking.
Yeah. So you might feel very unmotivated to do anything
Yeah.
also. So not wanting to go, out at all. So just like what Glenn said. So there's developmental, right? And then you have school related issues. School related issues like bullying. So one of the very common issues that we have been talking about, bullying issues, right? And for whether you're in primary school, secondary school, or even JC, that might pose as an issue. If you go into an environment that is unsafe for you, you wouldn't want to go into the environment. Yeah. And you might not be able to tell anyone about it if you're being bullied because bullies tend to isolate you. So they say, oh, they threaten you. You don't tell anyone. No one's going to believe you. So you don't tell anyone. So even if the teacher, even if, your parents ask you, you might not share the actual reason.
It could also be a higher authority that's bullying as well, right? Things like abuse and stuff like that. Teachers, principals,
Possible.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Will they do
possible,
things like that?
possible.
I mean, there have been stories about abusive child carers, so I don't see why secondary and primary schools or tertiary does not have that.
Yep. So we have stories of the those in kindergarten not wanting to go to school and then unable to tell the parents why, right? Yeah, until they manage to have a little bit more verbal ability and name a name. And we need to then investigate.
Yeah, that's horrible when adults abuse
With
their
authority.
their power.
Yeah. Lavina
Yeah.
says...
and trust.
Yeah, trust is a big thing. A friend's daughter gets left out in school and bullied because because of her pimples. Moll says bullying is sadly a major cause of school withdrawal. Many hikomori, which means socially withdrawn individuals, result. Hikomori.
Yeah. Hikomori, but hikomori, we've spoken about it, is a different ballgame altogether.
What is
It's
that?
a phenomenon in Japan that started from Japan where they hole up at home and not want to come out at all. So everything is done online. They don't even see the world. They are just at home or even in their room.
Got it.
Yeah.
What about things like peer pressure, Dr. Jerry?
Could be. So peer pressure, the environment is unsafe. They also feel unsafe to go into the environment. Or academic problems, they have academic issues. They are unable to cope in certain subjects. It doesn't make sense for certain subjects. So they don't go to work. They don't go to school because they haven't done their homework or they cannot do the test or examination and they maybe don't want to face that.
So what can we do then?
So besides school, there are other areas also. So there's the home related ones. So where we find out in session. So there's the whole professional front, right? Where you bring it to us and we find out more. So home related could be parents undergoing divorce or there is a very chaotic situation at home. Doesn't have to be abuse, but it could be people quarreling at home. There's no peace, there's no calm. One would think that they might want to go to school just to escape the environment, but sometimes they feel compelled to be at home because they feel like they are the ones keeping the harmony. So they
Oh,
want to
right.
ensure that the home environment is peaceful.
And they make sure that they don't kill each other, kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jerry,
okay.
we'll go back on air. Hold on.
Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the AYE towards the MCE, right before the Buena Vista exit, look out for a vehicle having a little trouble there. Also on the KPE, before the exit to Upper Paya Lebar Road, a vehicle has broken down there as well. If you spot anything else out there, you can WhatsApp us 88550920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. And once again, at this point in time, we'd like to wish the Straits Times a very happy 180th birthday. 180 years old, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if you pick up your physical copy, you get a nice pull-out, of the 180 years of Straits Times. Some really interesting stories there
Yeah,
and
very,
profiles.
very
cool.
Today, if you get the chance, and you see a copy of the Straits Times, right?
Yeah.
Either at the petrol kiosk
Yeah.
or at a
Convenience
news vendor
store, yeah.
or whatever, get your copy.
Pick it up, yeah.
It's a very, very nice copy of the Straits Times, celebrating 180 years.
I think I'm going to take this one home, actually.
Just buy your
okay.
copy.
I don't even know how much newspapers are these days. How much do you pay
And
for
the rest
them?
of the
three-
DJs so want to have a look at this. They need this in the
nobody
studio.
else reads the
Living the
newspapers.
Singapore story.
I like it.
Beautiful.
It's very
beautiful.
cool, yeah. All
Okay.
right, Dr. Geraldine Tan, welcome back.
Yes, hi. I'm not there, but I'm still online.
We were laughing, we were clapping along. Right? You were clapping also when I said it's the Straits Times 180th
Yes, must celebrate.
birthday.
It's a
Yeah.
long time, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about these spoiled kids again.
No,
Spoiled kids who refuse to go to school,
no. We're
giving their parents a hard time in the morning.
No. We're not talking about truancy or laziness or anything like that, right? It's more deep-seated.
It's like give
deep-rooted
them
than
one
that.
kick, get up, go take a shower,
Different,
wash your
it's
face,
different.
brush your teeth, and
It's different.
get moving.
It's different.
Thank
Thank goodness you don't have children.
You, right? But we are talking about the causes of it, and we have the developmental related issues. We have the school related issues like bullying and academic issues. Then we have the home related issues. So we are talking about it. So we are talking about like there is a situation at home. It could be divorce. It could be chaos at home. It could be even a family member falling ill. And the child, feeling a little bit unsafe, leaving the environment. Yeah, so clinical issues, yes. Oh, let me see. So, yes, physical issues, we mentioned about it. I link it to developmental, your whole body image, your emotional volatility. That may cause a little bit of upheaval during that period of time. And the clinical one, so a lot of people confuse, right? Is school refusal part of that whole clinical condition? So your clinical condition may cause you to not want to go to school. Things like depression, or you have anxiety, social anxiety. So there really is a clinical condition causing you to not want to go to school. But it's not the school refusal itself cannot be a diagnosis.
Is this a big problem? I mean, you're talking about it. So have you seen a lot of cases like this?
So a lot of times, schools or parents will bring their children and say, "Oh, but my child doesn't want to go to school. Can you get him back to school?" We can't get him back to school. We can find out the causes of it. That's why we're talking about the causes, and trying to find out which one is it. We can then help to manage those issues for the child. Because now, why is it important? Because sometimes the young children, they'll complain about their stomach aches, their headaches, even to the point of vomiting. So they do actually throw up or even have a fever. So
Wow.
so the parents would then bring them to the GP. But we need to clarify that there is no there is no medical condition before dealing with the mental health condition. Okay, I'm
Got
All
done.
it.
right,
Got
let's
it.
continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. It's 8:20.
Kiss 92 Time Check by Pu Tian.
Hey, good, right? Like that.
yeah, I
I'll
think
do this
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Then
Yes.
you moderate yourself. It's like, okay.
So, Dr. Jerry, like you're saying, okay, parents bring the kids in to see you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what about for
Yeah.
the parents who don't bring in their kids to seek professional help? How can they, tactfully find out what's going on at home?
So if we look at what is out there for the students, so the schools are a little bit more attuned to the students' needs these days, and they have more resources for the students. So typically the form teacher will be equipped to chat with the student, or the school counselor. So one of the school personnel would then check in with the student or check in with the parent. So the parent is already alerted that there is an issue.
Okay.
But if the parent goes, oh, I can't do anything about it, or my child is not listening to me, then the school will have to step in, or they will recommend, please bring your child to see someone, so that we can deal with the issue properly. So if
Jerry,
the
Jerry.
child is- yeah.
Do schools have like counselors or psychologists, or are they just counselors? Every school has a counselor, is it?
So some of the schools, they do have counselors. Every school has at least a counselor or two. Some of the more chaotic neighborhood, maybe that's the wrong way to put it.
Where's the chaotic neighborhood?
I don't know. Some of the neighborhoods with more maybe certain profiles of families or children, they do have a caseworker. That means somebody that is trained in social work that can work with the students.
Not just
Yeah.
students. I'm thinking parents as well. If a parent,
Yes,
let's say,
yes,
senses an
yes.
issue, perhaps maybe they can call the counselor in their kids' school just to ask them for advice, or
together.
to ask them what they think. So at least there's someone that they can turn to. For example, if they're not going to see a professional psychologist, at
Yeah.
least they have someone. So I feel like every school, I don't know the system now, but
Has to.
I feel like every school needs to have a counselor, and parents and students should have access to them.
And schools, like you mentioned, that may face more problems because of certain profiling and stuff like that, should at least have more than one, because I can't imagine how one person's going to deal with a whole school full of, not full, but you know what I mean, problematic children.
So the school counselors are for the students.
Yeah.
If the parents need assistance, actually every neighborhood has a family service center, and they can access it and speak with a counselor that is present there. They have a team there. Yeah, but if you're talking about psychologists, so the difference between the psychologist and the counselor, your psychologist would be able to diagnose any clinical conditions. So your first stop can be the counselors who can look at all these other issues.
Okay.
Yeah, because the counselor can then refer, let's say, the parent, to for example, a therapy room or any other place.
And
right?
and the counselors in the schools, do they work with these family service centers? Say, for example, if they can't get through to the parents and stuff like that. I mean, do they work in a triage of of help?
Yep. So the schools, if they need more manpower assistance, they can reach out to REACH, reach.
Oh, right, reach.
Yeah. So that they have a team that may be able to assist the school and the students and parents. So those would be more accessible to the parents.
Okay.
So, Jerry, if someone comes up to you with an issue, you can immediately diagnose the person, whether it's it's clinical or whether it's something else.
So typically, the psychologist will be able to diagnose if there is a clinical issue. So, for example, right, many of the parents love to self-diagnose or diagnose their children with gaming addiction or internet addiction. They say, so this is a very usual script that they would say, my child refuses to go to school because he is addicted to the internet or addicted to gaming. So they already label the child with a diagnosis of addiction. But we need to be careful because maybe the child has school refusal with another underlying issue, and because the child is staying at home and the child is bored, therefore the
hiding.
child goes on to the devices, right? But the child is not addicted, may not be addicted to the gaming or to the devices.
It's almost like an adult who may say, for example, have a drinking addiction or a gambling addiction.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, because they're trying to say drown their sorrows in something else or not go out, and sort of find something else to compensate. So the child uses maybe gaming to do this as well, or online, whatever it may be.
Possible. So we do need to help to isolate the problem and deal with the problem and not continue to label the child or yell at the child and then penalize the child, because that's not going to help the issue.
I think it's harder to diagnose a child, man, because a child doesn't know, what
How to express.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? I mean, isn't it easier to diagnose an adult?
From
Jerry?
from your professional opinion.
If the adult is very forthcoming, it's easy to diagnose. But actually, the reverse is true, because the child or the teen may be a little bit more direct, a little bit more concrete, a little bit more willing to share than an adult who tends to hide. So have
adults
more
are harder.
ability.
Right. If the adult hides, I don't hide. Okay, I got three things that what do you call my some of my, I won't say friends lah, but some people feel.
No, traffic fizz.
Oh,
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the TPE towards the SLE, a vehicle's broken down at the Tampines Avenue 10 exit. Also, a couple of accidents. The first one on the PIE towards the airport after Bukit Batok Road, causing congestion all the way back to Jurong Town Hall Road. Avoid lane 1. That's accident number 1. Accident number 2 is on the BKE towards the PIE after the exit to the KJE. Avoid lane 2 this time. Let us know if you spot anything else. 8855
welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. I was about to do something on The Big Show TV, but now we are back on air, so I don't know whether I should do it or not.
You
because
were
we're talking about addiction.
friends and something. You were going to say something.
Because we're talking about
Yes,
addiction, right?
yeah.
So we asked Jerry whether or not it's easier to diagnose a kid or an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jerry said, well, if the adult kind of holds back, then it's hard to diagnose the adult. And you brought up some addictions, right?
Yeah, I said, I mean, like, as with adults, they may hide behind gambling or drinking versus a child hiding behind something like gaming, because they're trying to avoid a bigger issue, for example.
So just the other day, my boss was implying that I'm an alcoholic. So, I mean, I don't think I'm an alcoholic, right? So,
alcoholics never think they're
so I've got
alcoholics.
3 things right now that my friends, they feel like, okay, I might be addicted to, but I disagree.
Okay.
They're saying I'm a tattoo addict. I don't think so. Look at me.
No, I don't know. I don't think you are.
I don't have tattoos all over my body, but I am thinking right now I want to get another tattoo. So I'm constantly thinking like I want to get a tattoo, but
You don't
I'm
get
not.
one every day.
Correct. Drinking, they're saying that I might be an alcohol addict,
You have one
including
every day.
including Angel.
Yes.
Giving me a hard time.
On national radio, yes.
And thirdly, whether or not I'm a sex addict. So who can you diagnose me?
No,
right now?
I will not diagnose you.
On air on Kiss 92.
Every time he does this entrapment, right?
Entrapment.
No
yeah.
entrapment. I mean,
I say
Angels, what do you call?
1 and 3,
Curious, you
1
know.
and 3. I say number 2, highly likely.
As in alcohol.
So, yeah, I mean, we know that you speak
Why?
very freely about it, but
Why?
but no one can diagnose you except your own psychologist. So because
Aren't you my psychologist?
No and no.
no, you have your own psychologist. Yeah, because we do need to see the frequency, the intensity, the impact it has on your social, your daily living. So all these need to be looked at, and then we can make an informed decision whether it is a genuine diagnosis or not, right? You cannot just simply slap a diagnosis on a person.
I always tell everyone I'm the king when it comes to these sort of things. I do what I want to do when I feel like I need to do it. But then after I'm over whatever
You're completely
that's bugging
done with
me,
it.
then I'm fine. But I know what I need to do to survive. You know what I mean?
But I hear you. It's just maybe
She
people
cannot
around
diagnose you.
people around you do
Yeah.
not trust how you manage certain situations. And
Gin
you're
and
worried
soda. I mean,
about-
come on.
That's it's not even alcohol. It's water. What are you talking about?
For a period of time, I can tell you, alcohol saved my life,
Okay.
but not in an addictive
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Okay. Don't look at me with judging.
Yeah, because
I'm not.
you're judging.
I'm not
You're
saying.
judging.
I'm not judging.
I know I'm not supposed to say this on
We
radio, right?
digress.
Some people are gonna condemn me and all that, but I'm just being honest. I've always been honest.
You're allowed to be honest, and you should be
If
honest.
I'm an alcoholic, I'll go right now. Right now, I'll say hello. My name is
It's Glenn Ong.
Ong Suka Glenn Francis, and I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
No, but that was I'm not. An alcoholic. Okay.
We'll just take that bit out and then join the different bits
Anyway,
together.
let's go back on the Big Show TV because Jerry is talking too much. So here's Guy Sebastian with Get It Done on Kiss 92.
This is brand new. Here's a tune that's
You know that the first thing is denial, right? When it comes
Stop
to any sort of
it.
addiction.
Stop it.
Oh, dear me.
okay.
We are not talking about addiction. We're talking about
Yeah, that's
school.
true. What happened there? It's always
Got
about
got tired of talking about children.
Then we moved on to the adults, then we moved on to drinking.
Nice.
Look at all these kids addicted to K-pods.
Oh yeah, that's awful, Dr. Jerry.
Yeah.
So bad. I think we definitely need to be talking about something like that. It's so bad.
Let the news and everything kind of settle down and more evidence come out first. But yeah, we probably need to talk about the K-pods, the vaping and everything. I mean, we did talk about substance abuse. We did talk about vaping, but perhaps we should talk about it.
Yeah, it's very sad.
But now today we're not talking. It's supposed
School
to be
refusal.
School
Light.
refusal.
Because she brought up all the addictions and all that. That's why. Okay, let's get back to
always
the
pointing
topic.
figures. Okay.
Yeah, but I suppose it's also parents feeling very helpless when their children refuse to go to school. So the younger ones, they are clingy, they are crying, they have temper tantrums, in addition to some of them who have all the physical symptoms. So the teens manifest differently. Like I say, it does look like maybe an addiction problem. That's why we were talking about addiction. They also have their stomach aches, their headaches, so many of them, they rather complain about a physical ailment because that is safer to complain about a physical ailment, and the body does respond quite closely with our mental well-being. So if we are stressed with our academics, we can get a tummy ache, a headache, and the teen especially, they're very volatile, so emotionally volatile. So the crying, the screaming, the shouting, they sound like they have an issue, so the emotional outbursts. Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I say
Sure.
something very quickly? I think the reason why kids are in such a bad place, such a bad situation, is because they don't have the freedom. They don't have the freedom to express themselves in order to get, whatever's bugging them out of their system. We were all kids once upon a time, and we were all in an environment where we were dependent on our parents, and so we did not have that freedom. As kids, we wanted to do things to just express ourselses and feel better, but a lot of the time we were restricted in many ways, and I think that kind of is one of the reasons why so many kids are in this situation right now.
I like it when Glenn has that spark of like wisdom sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, thanks.
She just called you wise.
But
Thank
it is
you.
true. It is true. So, what you touched on is very, very important, because in the past, we have a lot more leeway to play with our friends, hang out with our friends, do creative things with our friends. But now the environment seems to be very clinical.
Lonely. Yeah.
So the children, you're right, they are very limited in terms of what they can or cannot do, because everything has maybe a grade, or they have to go for a tuition and enrichment. So if you ask the young ones these days, do they have a hobby? Many of them, I hear that they don't have a hobby, but they have plenty of enrichment classes to go to.
Oh, their hobbies are scrolling online, playing games. Everything is internet based.
Because that's all they have, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all they have.
I mean, I feel like loneliness has a lot to do with it as well, solitude as well, socializing. Because if you go on the train, right, all you have to do is look around. Everyone is plugged in and on their phones. No one is talking.
Yes.
See that, like, nobody is talking. They're all in their own zone. So if you go to school bus as well, maybe, they've all got their headphones on. They're not chatting like we used to, singing songs and whatnot. So the social environment is very different.
Very different. They're not engaging with one another.
No.
So, you're talking about like just being with friends and downloading with friends, complaining about certain things, even just just ranting about a teacher that was mean to you, or having your friends to like rally with you against not a bully, but somebody that is a little bit meaner. You have someone to go to, someone to speak with, and activities to help you to express. So I love it when I see students being able to go out to the fields, just play soccer, play volleyball, play basketball. It's a very nice way of decompressing your emotions. But I do hear that some schools are still a little bit worried about, students going into the field playing soccer. Sometimes they get a little bit rowdy. So from the COVID period, if we recall, and the students were rotated during recess time, they were not allowed on fields, they were limited in terms of physical activity. Some schools continue to have that, which is very sad, because then the students don't get to play, or they don't get to just be with their friends and just kick a ball and just be free and be themselves.
Children.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this attachment to devices and stuff like that is a very Singapore thing. Because when I travel, right, you don't see people in KL, people in Jakarta, people in Bangkok walking the streets with their phones. In Singapore, everyone's doing it. You go to Australia and all that, people are chatting or reading a book on the trains and stuff. It's a very, very localized thing. So I really feel like we need to start, like, I don't know, chucking the phones away for a day and just reconnecting with everybody in that sense of a word.
Yeah, so everything is on the internet, and our data speed is very fast.
Yeah.
If you realize that Singapore is really one of the fastest.
Yeah.
When we go overseas and the internet is a little bit slow to load.
Is that why we're talking to people? Because it's like everyone's waiting for stuff, so they have to talk to people anyway.
It could be one of the reasons, but yeah, we are so reliant on our devices. But it's not only the devices that causes school refusal, I must say that. If parents need, assistance, they can go to IMH website or MOE website and they can search up school refusal, and they have a lot of resources that are out there for parents to utilize. So we mentioned about reach. There's also like back to school plans. There are some collaboration with certain agencies. Your private agencies also can do that. So, when you bring your child to us, so private centers, we also will request from the parents and the child if we can speak with the school and collaborate with the school. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So there are a few things there, even structured home strategies, intensive specialized program, gradual reintegration, some of the methods that we use. But the best one is early detection and prevention. So that is a initiative by MOE and MSF. It's called the Uplift Initiative.
Oh, right. Okay.
What about the adults?
All
What
lives
about,
start
what
with
about the
happy
poor
children.
parents? What about the poor parents who are suffering because their kids are not being cooperative and
Well, once
they're
you
not
get happy
feeling
kids, you'll get
loved?
happier parents. You're gonna deal. Parents are more equipped to deal with their emotions than children
That's what
are.
we think, but there's so many parents who want to strangle their kids because their kids are just so rebellious. And I'm sure there are many, many parents who are disappointed with their kids and regretting having them in the first place. See what I mean? I just allowed Jerry to talk just now because once I start,
You don't stop. Yeah.
yes. So I think we should definitely help the adults as well.
But we do,
because,
we always talk about
I
adults.
don't care about the kids.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we can talk about the kids, but I think let's not forget about the adults as
Are
well.
you a godparent to anyone's children?
No, man.
Oh, thank
I
goodness.
refuse.
Yeah, you refuse.
I have better things to spend my money
Oh
on.
my God! Yo.
Because, once I have a god kid, I will spoil
You will
them
spoil the
silly.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, traffic coming up.
Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KJE towards the PIE, a vehicle has broken down after the Choa Chu Kang Drive exit. Also on the SLE towards the CTE, another broken down vehicle after the Mandai Avenue exit. Finally, on the PIE towards the airport, at the exit to Lornie Road, another vehicle having trouble there. You can WhatsApp us if you spot anything else. 88550920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan, award-winning psychologist from the Therapy Room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning. And I like how you mentioned about, we should support the adults. So there are strategies to support the parents.
Okay.
You don't leave them alone.
Right. Jerry, you don't have a podcast now. Do you have a podcast of your own? Do you have a podcast of your own? You should. You should have a podcast of your own and have like guests like me on your show.
Glenn will be guest number one and
I'm in my get me as a guest phase right now.
Oh, right,
Just to
okay.
let you guys know, I've been asked like on 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about four shows, 4 podcasts.
Have you gone on any of them?
No, but I'm going to.
Oh, okay. When is this?
I'll let you guys know.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, an aesthetic doctor wants me to be on his podcast, and then of course, Kishan wants me to be on his podcast / talk show. I've got another. What industry is that? Well, just someone who has a podcast who wants me to be, and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy being interviewed.
Okay. Well, I'll create a podcast just for you to be interviewed. How
Because
about that?
we interview people all the time,
We
right?
do, right? And then it's nice to sit in the
let's
other
go.
seat.
Like,
Yeah.
when the
Okay.
bosses ask me to come up with my own podcast, I'm like, I'm not interested.
You know what you should do? You should just put all those podcasts together and make it a podcast.
I want all the other podcasters to interview me,
Wow. Okay.
to have me on their show. Like, what's that award-winning podcast? That's bedtime stories thing?
The Land Before Bedtime.
Land Before
Would
Bedtime.
you like to be
How
on the
come-
Land Before Bedtime? I would love to interview you.
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. We'll do
Yeah.
a special edition.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Oh
done.
my
Consider it
God.
done.
It'll be interesting.
No,
But I have to
no
say, I
refusal.
just have to say this as we close. You know how many of these newspaper journalists got in touch with me when those golf courses closed? The lease
How many?
expiration, and all that, at least 4 or 5.
Why-
From the other, what do you call, news outlets as
Right,
well.
okay.
But I refused.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to say something really, really awful and regret it. So I decline.
I keep my mouth shut.
Business Times called me as well. I said, I decline.
Oh, right.
Because, I cannot, there's no filter.
Basically,
whatsoever.
you are upset though with the closure of
No,
the
no,
golf
of course
course.
not.
Oh my God.
The official statement is yes.
Okay, go
yes,
ahead. Yeah.
Housing is important.
Yeah, upgrading is
It's
always
okay.
important
Housing
for the country.
and we need more parks.
Nation
and stuff.
building, yes.
Of course, towards nation building. I don't question, but I just don't want to say too much.
All right, Dr. Jerry, any final words?
Oh my gosh. Okay, a few tips first, yeah. So talk to your child, don't yell. Okay, so talk. Reason. Find out the reason or reason with your child and ensure that they continue to learn at home. So this is very crucial because every time they think that they escape school, they don't need to do anything at home. That's not true. They still need to study at home or do the work at home. And then seek help. For the parents, please seek help from the school, their friends, as well as the professionals, because maybe there's an underlying issue. We need to find out what the underlying issue is, and then ease the children back to school. We cannot just throw the child back. When they are already out of school for a period of time, we need to ease them back because the period of time that they are not in may have already caused them secondary emotional issues. So those are the 5 areas that we want our parents to try and see if they can do it. And the quote.
What is your quote for today?
The quote for today is by a poet, Edgar Guest, and he says, "Love has the patience to endure the fault it sees but cannot cure."
Oh, don't talk to me about love.
Oh, sorry about that, Dr. Jerry.
There is no such thing.
That was such a beautiful quote. We look forward to next week as well. Oh my gosh.
Bye, our darling Jerry.
Bye! We'll see you next week.
See ya. Up next, Ive. This is Off the Record on Kiss 92.